last week's episode, Jason and Missy headed to Colorado Springs. Jason got some awesome drone footage of the Manitou Trail. They hiked up over 2,000 steps, and Jason and Missy stopped along the way to talk about life. And Ryan made a cameo you're not going to want to miss. Let's get started with episode 17. What's up, everybody? Welcome back for episode 17. And today we're going to be talking about the top 5 warning signs that you may be falling off track in your fitness journey. We're going to talk about what those are, what to watch out for, and what you can do to overcome those to make sure you stay on track, keep losing weight, getting healthy, and stay on point with your fitness goals. Let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. All right, guys, so for warning number 1, it's pretty simple. It has to do with making sure that you're looking at the scale on a regular basis. Now, we've talked about, we've had a lot of episodes about when you should weigh in, how frequent you should weigh in. Personally, I do a week. I've even done every 2 weeks. Find that mark and make sure you do it. A lot of times we know when we haven't been 100% true to our fitness plan. The last thing you want to do is not look at that scale or take your measurements, whatever your metric is, to see how your body's changing. If you don't know how you're doing, you're going to end up failing because you have to have that diagnosis to let you know whether you're moving backwards or forwards. You have to know. So set that regimen. You do it consistently, regularly, so you know how you're doing and you know if you need to make adjustments along the way, good or bad. What's up, guys? All right, let's get under this tree here and talk for a minute, shall we? All right, guys, so warning sign number 2. And this is one that is probably the hardest for me, is snacking. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about. Well, we should eat snacks, you said, right? Yeah, absolutely you should eat snacks. You need to eat snacks because snacks help bridges to the next meal. They also keep your metabolism moving. But you should be eating healthy snacks. You should be looking for good food. But that's not what I'm talking about today. What I'm talking about is frequent snacking. And this is a sign that you may be falling off your fitness journey or starting to loosen up, because there's all these different elements when you're trying to lose weight. There's all these different, I kind of look at it like different levers that you pull. And when each lever starts to get pulled, you start to revert back to the old habits. And when you're first trying to lay that foundation, it's super hard to break old habits. If you find yourself snacking more than you should, if you find yourself eating snacks that you probably shouldn't be eating because maybe they're not healthy for you, if you find that you're trying to justify why you should eat it or promising yourself you're going to go to the gym, you need to stop and cut that out. That is an absolute disaster path, because the more you snack, the more you eat, the more calories you take in is going to throw you off on your fitness goals. You're not going to get the results that you want. You're going to become frustrated. So if you find yourself saying, man, I just been snacking a lot more than I used to, pull back, look at your meal plan, start fresh. Tomorrow's a new day. If you just go back to your old habits, you're gonna go back to your old self. This fitness journey is gonna be forever. Some days you're gonna win, some days you're not gonna win. But every day it starts over. So just keep that in mind. Eat good food, have snacks throughout the day, make sure they're balanced, make sure they're not excessive in calories, and make sure what you're eating is the right food, but healthier options, so you're putting the right fuel in your body to make sure you hit your fitness goals. Go ahead and click on this little icon right here. It has a little eye by it. Let me know, is snacking something that gets you off track? All right, guys, so for warning sign number 3, what you need to watch out for is excuses. So here's what I mean by that. Excuses can derail your whole fitness program. And it's natural for us to come up with excuses. That's how we are. We're wired that way. And when there's something that we necessarily don't want to do, but we know we should do, we're always trying to think of reasons to justify it in our own mind while we don't want to do it. I'm a master at excuses. I've talked about it before. I used to come up with them all the time. Here's what you need to be careful of, though. Excuses and promises of doing things later are going to set you up for failure. The reason why is it's easy. It's so easy to say, I'm going to do something later. The promises of tomorrow will lead you to failure. If you promise yourself tomorrow you're going to do something, tomorrow I'm going to get on my fitness journey, on New Year's I'm going to get on my fitness journey, there's no reason to wait, right? You can start making small steps. Even if you're completely off track, you're eating like crap, and you're not doing any kind of exercise, you could do one thing today, one thing, to get you on track. Even if that has to do with eating one meal or incorporating a piece of fruit or drinking more water, think of it as small wins. My point is this, everything that you do towards getting healthy, every step you take is gonna help you. And I think people go in and they go in way too extreme, and they try to go in and make huge corrections to their lifestyle, and they fail because it's too extreme. Start with one thing. What's your one thing you're gonna do today that's gonna help you be healthier? If you find yourself coming up with excuses frequently, that's a warning sign that things could be headed in a bad direction. We have to realize what hasn't worked in the past to know what will work in the future. All right guys, so warning sign number 4 has to do with getting bored. Now what do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. So what I mean is, like, a lot of times when we start our fitness journeys, we're motivated, we're fired up, whatever it was that got you off the couch and made you decide, I'm gonna lose weight, you had the best intentions. But as you stick with it, whether it's for weeks or months or even years, what happens is, things get boring. You do the same thing, you eat the same foods. So a lot of times that's a huge warning sign of something that can throw us off track. Because if you find that your fitness journey is now getting boring, or you find that your exercise routine is the same thing, work with a personal trainer. If you find that you don't like the food you're eating, eat different food. My point is that you need to keep fluxing, you need to keep changing things to keep this interesting, because like I said earlier, this is a lifelong journey. So here's the thing, guys. Look, this whole fitness thing and staying motivated and losing weight is freaking hard. And if you're not switching things up and you're not finding new ways to challenge yourself, you're gonna fall off track. So if you haven't, work with a personal trainer, get involved in a fitness program. Look at your meal plan, come up with a new menu, cook something different for dinner tomorrow. You know, do something that you haven't done before. Getting bored is a huge warning sign that you could be falling off track, and one you want to watch out for. If you're bored and you know you're bored, do something about it. Don't wait until you fall off track to decide that you need to change things. Take action. That's the big thing about this journey, is we need to act on our impulses. We know what we've done before that's not allowed us to do what we want to do, so we have to make those changes now to get back on track. Sorry I'm late. All right, so we're at warning sign number 5. And this is one that's huge, huge, huge. I've done it so long and I did it for so long. I'm better at it now, but I still have to work through. And it is blaming others. See, here's the thing. When it comes to getting healthy, you cannot blame anybody else. Whether it's your spouse that maybe doesn't cook healthy and it's throwing you off track. No, you just need to decide that you're not gonna eat that. Whether it's maybe you don't bring your lunch to work because you didn't have the groceries. Well, you need to go to the grocery store. My point is that don't blame anybody, because at the end of the day, this is your journey. And if you fall off track, I fell off track. I take ownership of it. I messed up. Here's how I'm going to fix it moving forward. You cannot blame other people or circumstances for the reason that you can't stick with your program. That's the first sign that you need to pull back real quick and say, wait a minute now. I can overcome these things. I've just chosen not to do it. And that's something that you need to address right away, because this is a huge one also that can throw us in a tailspin. All these tips that I've talked to you today, every single one of these, they all are compounding. So if you do one, you do another one, the more of these warning signs that actually you find yourself coming up against, the more likely you are to fall off track. And by being aware and listening for these warning signs, I have no doubt that you're gonna have more success and you're gonna be more on track. So keep your ears open, keep your eyes forward, and if you make a mistake, well, there's always tomorrow.